the Forgotten Gods is going to be a major, major issue. It's an edict that you can't get off the battlefield, and that's going to be very tough to work around.
All right, so a couple of copies of Selfless Savior, a Core Spirit Dancer, and All That Glitters, and a Heliot's Punishment, along with the appropriate colors of mana. So this looks like a keep here for Azorius Auras. On the Rakdos mid-range side, it's a little slow out of the gate, I think, with regards to interaction. But
if you know the matchup, I think this is a mulligan. You have so many superstars in this matchup, and this hand doesn't do anything against a good Auras hand. It's just some creatures that can't block. Like what does this hand do?
Yeah. I think I would send it back as well if I'm the Rakdos mid-range player. You just got so much other stuff that you can do. Right?
There we go.
That looks like a better hand. I mean, it's not great, but it's better.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Yeah. Okay. All right, well, there's a Selfless Savior. Let's do it to it. And that is, we're going to call this deck Rakdos Sacrifice, not Rakdos Midrange. So let's change that when we have a second. There's a Stitcher Supplier to start. All right, there's a Plains. Here's Core Spirit Dancer. And that little doggy. That dog feeling frisky? No, I don't think so. Okay.
Yeah, I think when the card from the other side of the table that concerns you the most is Priest of the Forgotten Gods, I think you want to be really careful about just trading off creatures. You can have one thing that gets big, and maybe you can build up a cushion with other creatures that you can sacrifice.
So we're going to head back over to Tristan now. See the hand there. Looks like Phyrexian Tower is going to come down this turn. Going to be the land for the turn. Scrounger, Midnight Reapers, plural. Mayhem Devil, Swamp. So, sacrifice the supplier right now. Okay, we're feeling it. A couple cards going to go to the graveyard. Scroungers, plural, headed that way. And now it looks like we're going to go to Midnight Reaper on turn number 2. So a little bit of acceleration. Does come at a cost, however, as we head back over to Wenzel Krautmann, who has drawn another copy of All That Glitters. Now, taking a look at the Rakdos Sacrifice deck list, you're not going to find Fatal Push here. You mentioned Claim the Firstborn, 4 copies. Things to sacrifice it to, well, there's plenty of stuff for that. Woe Strider, Priest of Forgotten Gods, if things are going appropriately. Witch's Oven. So, Phyrexian Tower, which is already on the battlefield. So sacrificing it not that tough. Looks like we're going to split up and divvy up the auras, though, which is something you liked in the last match. How do you like it here?
I like splitting up as much as possible. You don't want to split up to the point where you're sacrificing things to edicts that have stuff on them, but the opposing deck has Claimed the Firstborn, Sacrifice Outlets, whatever. You would prefer to avoid having all of your eggs in one basket. That's really the needle you're trying to thread here. Don't have everything in one basket, but also have enough of a cushion that if you get hit with some edicts, you have some expendable stuff to play with.
Okay. Oh, there's your block. Looks like Midnight Reaper's going to get in front of the Core Spirit Dancer. Now we're going to head back over to Tristan, who's drawing a copy of Fabled Passage. That's going to be land number 4. Land number 3 is just this swamp. But already behind is Wylde-LaRue.
Yeah, no obvious path for catch-up here either.
Yeah, that's the tough part.
Oven gives you a draw to claim. But if Wenzel is able to keep sort of spreading the love around here, such that you're not all in on one big thing, even a claim isn't really worth that much.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think Tristan is finding I think he's finding this to be pretty difficult already. And you're also hoping that your opponent just has like nothing else going on, and we already know that's not the case.
Yep, and also let's not forget about Lurrus either. That's just
Mhm.
another thing that's looming. Even able to get back enchantments as well if the game should go that way.
Well, there's Mayhem Devil. And just pass the turn back. All the glitters. Already has one on the battlefield. Could be two more. And again, this is a situation where you could see in all the glitters that goes on the token or something like that. Here's a Heliod's Punishment to slow that down. So Cartouche of Solidarity, the draw off of the Core Spirit Dancer trigger. And now here's all the glitters on the token. Yeah, this is actually one of the benefits of this deck. Unlike the Hexproof deck in other formats where you have to load up on just one threat, you can spread it out pretty confidently here. And that means that a card like, even if Priest of Forgotten Gods was kind of going right now, it's tough to say if it'd even be good in this game. Obviously, it's a different game entirely if that's taking the place, but yeah, you're pretty insulated right now around Claim.
Yeah, you have to get out. You have to get out in front of it a little bit more with Priest. Yeah. Turn 4, once the battlefield looks like that, it's not worth very much. Turn 2 can be excellent, but you need it on time.
We got shirts. From Coalesce Apparel and Design. You can save 10% at checkout and use gift code SCG at coalesceapparel.shop. That's the web address for Coalesce Apparel and Design. And the 3 shirts that you see in front of you are from the Keeping It 100 2020 Fall Collection that was just released on Friday. On the far left is the Gobfather, which is giving a shout out to Krenko. In the middle is the Praetorian Man, which is giving a shout out to Atraxa. And of course, on the far right is Rock and Royal, which is giving a shout out to Omnath, Locus of Creation. All 3 of these shirts are available along with many others, including some of the ones I've worn on today's cast at coalesceapparel.shop. Boom.
Boom. What?
Nothing.
Okay.
Dude, I'm just having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Calling some matches of Magic with my buddy. And very much looking forward to Fettuccine Alfredo later today.
Yeah, I just had a big old bowl of pasta. Probably.
What'd you have? Whoa. Don't just go. Tell me more.
It's pasta, ground beef, some tomatoes. Wasn't anything too fancy.
Sounds good, though.
Mm-hmm.
I just want more pasta. I had pasta for dinner yesterday. I'm going to do it again today. The weekends is when I just let it rip on pasta. Like during the week, I try to keep it in line, but it's just time. Like I just want. You got to take me to Jersey when we're allowed to travel again for some dope Italian place because we never did that yet.
We haven't done it.
I know you know a spot. I know
bunch of spots in Somerville that I really like. Yeah.
You took us to that calzone place once. That was pretty good, I think.
That was in New Brunswick.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's by Rutgers.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know where that was, but it was good.
A lot of good eats in New Brunswick. Not the fanciest east, but if you're looking for some greasy, filling food, there are no end of options there.
Which you know I am. I don't need it to be fancy. I just need it to be good, man.
Yeah.
I'm over fancy food. Oh boy, this isn't going to work for Azorius Aura. It's going to have to send that one back. That's better.
Yeah, that's a hand.
Better. Not sure which card to send back. But you definitely keep.
I like keeping... I think you got to keep the 2 lands and the Baffling End as insurance against Priest.
Okay.
And yeah, that looks fine. I think past the 2 lands and the Baffling End, I'm kind of ambivalent about what you'd send back.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see arguments for essentially all the cards here.
Okay. Cauldron Familiar is going to kick things off here. Glacial Fortress on the other side. Let's see what turn 2 yields. It's going to be a mountain and an attack, and it looks like not much past that. So, okay, another Cauldron Familiar. I take that back. Trigger 17 to 22. This is a Hushbringer with relevant text. 1/2 flyer. Going to slow this thing down a little bit. No ETB Go token, no good attacks. Glacial Fortress the draw. Okay. Now what? Do you do some baffling ending? You're going to play the Alciad. I was going to say almost assuredly. I don't know if that's a lock, though. But okay, here comes Baffling End, yes. Woestrider, goodbye forever. Okay. And now there is the Alciad of Life's Bounty, so that's on the battlefield. And going to hold steady, not going to do any attacking. Witch's Oven now. In combination with, oh boy, well, we've seen this before.
Yeah, this is a mixture of cards here that Wenzel is just not able to handle very well in this exact moment.
Yeah, Mayhem Devil, Cauldron Familiar, Witch's Oven. Should we have saved the Baffling End? But you didn't really know.
Yeah, I think that was basically on primarily on priest duty. Once you don't see it on turn 2 or turn 3, you just assume it's not there. You just sort of cast it on whatever the best target is. You don't expect your opponent to have this rolled up, land number 4 plus Devil plus Oven. So
yeah, and with 2 Cauldron Familiars already rolling, right? Like
right.
All right, well, gonna sacrifice the Cauldron Familiar to the Witch's Oven. Trigger, deal 1 to the Hushbringer. Cauldron Familiar is going to come back. Hushbringer down. Okay. So here's a core Spirit Dancer. Cartouche of Solidarity. Let's grow that Spirit Dancer. Draw a card? Absolutely. Who would say no to draw a card? You kidding me? Don't ever ask me that question again.
Now we'll have to see what this Mayhem Devil can do. Tristan's hand could potentially end up being soft to a big creature. So you would like to knock out the Spirit Dancer this turn if there's a way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
If you can do that, very unlikely your opponent can come back. If they are able to untap the Spirit Dancer, they can potentially draw more cards and keep growing and keep their head above water.
Well, decisions here for Rakdos Sacrifice. Because we know this Auras deck can get out of control pretty quickly if draws go a certain way, especially when that Spirit Dancer's on the battlefield, so. Here comes Woestrider. It's going to bring a goat along with it. And now it's another Cartouche, okay. And now it looks like maybe even another Spirit Dancer. You play that first?
Yeah, this is a shot, again, to, against Witch's Oven and Mayhem Devil and Cauldron Familiar. Your best bet is just size. I mean, that's really the only way you can hope to keep something on the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can do it, there's a shot that you can actually just keep it all rolling downhill.
Okay, so we're going to go to SRAM instead first. Okay, sure. Then you play Cartouche. Put on the Spirit Dancer. Yeah. No, you can't put it there.
Yeah.
I think you have to put on a Spirit Dancer. And then you're going to draw 2 cards from casting it. So here's Witch's Oven in response, right? So you're going to go, all right, sacrifice the cat. Deal 1 there. Bring the cat back. Sure. Deal 1 to the SRAM. Okay, that's fine. Still draw 2 cards. Absolutely take that card. Okay. And now, even bigger, 6/8, make another 1/1. The 1/1s are pretty easy to get rid of. Don't want to play the Alciad of Life's Bounty and just expose it to getting killed by basically anything. And now the question is it worth attacking, especially when your Spirit Dancer doesn't have lifelink? And it looks like the answer was almost yes, but it's going to be no, and simply pass the turn back.
Yeah, I just don't think you get very far here with an attack when your blockers on the way back won't be there.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one. So Woestrider's going to be doing some scrying, and some things are going to be sacrificed. First, it was the goat. Le goat. Oh, Noxious Grasp. Well, I have a hard time believing that's not good.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the last piece of the puzzle, right? Some way to made the House of Cards collapse.
Pretty much. You said it for me. That makes the whole entire House of Cards collapse, so you're able to kill the big Spirit Dancer. Yeah, obviously you have to think about if my opponent has some sort of effect like Karametra's Blessing to kind of trump that, but really past that, that was the missing piece of the puzzle right now. That can allow the attacks to start, and as you mentioned, the whole House of Cards kind of crumbles there if the trigger's pulled.
Yeah, there's a question here of whether or not you're going to get a better spot. Your opponent could absolutely have something to protect their creature, but holding up 1 mana just isn't a major cost here.
Yep.
So, if they don't have it now, you're just getting them more draw steps at it.
There was the Karametra's Blessing. Excuse me, there was the Noxious Grasp on upkeep. No Karametra's Blessing to be found. For what it's worth, this deck and this version of Aura is only playing 2 copies of Karametra's Blessing, where you have seen other versions play 4 copies of that card. So makes that decision maybe even a little bit easier there for Tristan, saying, hey, normally these decks have 4, you only have 2. Let's fire this bad boy off and see how it goes.
Yep.
Looks like Lures of the Dream Den is going to be headed to the grip, but that's a slow way to go about rebuilding. And that 1/1 I don't think is going to be feeling all that frisky. You're going to be dying here, I have to imagine, momentarily, as there's your Witch's Oven activation. It's this engine that we know now and have known for some time. Once it's online, if you can't break this thing up, you have no chance to win the game if you're based around creatures. And right now, this is a deck in Azorius Auras that's probably never going to be able to get to regain its footing in this game.
No, and I think we're going to be done with this one. Not that much time in a Priest of Forgotten Gods there. That to me is that's the censure, because you can't keep a small creature on the battlefield in front of the Mayhem Devil, and now trying to assemble a big creature won't work either.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. Right with you on that one. Just never going to be able to get your footing for what this deck is trying to do. Now, there's a copy of Hushbringer. Creatures entering the battlefield or dying don't cause abilities to trigger. Okay. So the idea is, let me get that on the battlefield, and assuming you can't kill Hushbringer, I should actually be okay. But I don't think that's the reality of the situation, unfortunately. But we'll see. Kaldheim is going to come back from sacrificing the food token, and Priest of Forgotten Gods should have enough fodder to be able to kill Hushbringer, right?
Yeah.
Also, just seems like it's extremely easy to just kill. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that big.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think you need Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Yeah, so there's a lethal attack. So the Hushbringer plan, even getting it back with Luris, not nearly enough. And so we are all tied up here as Azorius Auras and Rakdos Sacrifice going to get ready here for game number 3. And look at these fine 4 fellows, Patrick. Aren't they the best?
Talk to me.
Justin Parnell, John Suarez, Jeremy Knoll, and your boy, the American Dream, Stephen Green.
Mm-hmm.
That's our Commander versus crew. Every Wednesday, 5 p.m. That's when you get new episodes going up over at StarCityGames.com. And with Commander Legends just coming out, there's going to be a lot of new awesome episodes. Commander Legends looks like a fantastic set for Commander fans and for Eternal fans alike. You'd like get some new content there for their Legacy deck or other older formats as well. But exciting time with 2020 being the year of Commander. Obviously, everything didn't go according to plan. Things out of everybody's control there, but we are making the most of it over at StarCityGames.com every Wednesday at 5 p.m. John, Justin, Jeremy, and Stephen Green. One thing I didn't think I would ever miss was the constant harassment by Stephen Green at live events.
Yes.
I even missed that. And it really hurts that his Eagles are truly horrific this year.
Yep.
And we're not there in person to make fun of him. There's no way he just gets to live this way with no effects, even though they're awful. They lost to the Browns today.
And I don't know about that Carson Wentz contract.
Yeah, it doesn't look great, does it? No.
Yeah. Getting paid a lot of money to sit back and just absorb professional wrestling moves.
Yeah, this is actually especially sobering because your Giants just beat them last week, right?
Should have beat him twice, but yes.
But you beat him last week, and then my Browns beat him this week, and he just gets to dodge both of us.
I know. Yeah, if we were out in, say, Charlotte, Atlanta right now,
yeah,
be hearing it.
We'd be insufferable.
Be asking him if, he thought that I should try out for wide receiver for the Eagles, maybe.
Well, just wait till they get Alshon Jeffrey back.
He is back. You just don't. Yeah. You wouldn't know because.
Bro, it's not 2013. Alshon Jeffrey's not the difference. Okay? Yeah. Your team's bad. I like when the Eagles are bad. Feels right.
Of course.
Oh, Alshon Jeffrey is back. He had a target today. That's big. Wow.
He
got a target.
He got a target.
Nice. Also, Wednesday with a sterling two picks, 1 fumble.
Yeah.
Really just crushing it. Sorry, Eagles fans, but
yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. Carson Wentz is either going to throw the ball at your feet or let you get hung out over the middle of the field.
Yeah. There's Hushbringer. And a little savior.
Wow.
Creature's alive.
Look at that.
And a cage.
Look at that sick curve.
That's not a bad draw. Now we just need some auras to get this party really going. Just gonna shamble on in, will the Scrounger. 15-18. Wow, we're just going jigging at the time. I love it.
Oh.
That's how you know your draw's not great. Turn 3, just give me this. Ram gonna draw a card. Hushbringer's getting bigger. How about even bigger? Yeah, Sentinelize. Let's go. Spread them around like it. And now some beatdowns. In for 8. No sacrifice outlet here for our Arachno Sacrifice player. Still. Oof.
I think Scrappy Scrounger in this matchup on the draw is unacceptable.
Yeah.
Just, game's not about that.
Yeah, I think I agree. On the play, I'm for it.
And Tristan had a lot of cards to sideboard in, too. And, you see them all in hand here. Active trees in, other active trees in, third active trees in. I don't know. Just take Wenzel's stuff and knock on in for 10.
Sure. Give him a little taste.
Give him a little taste.
Let you know where I am. Hey, I'm here.
Well, you can actually start on the dog to try to induce a sacrifice.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Let's fire up with a Claim the Firstborn on that little pooch. See what happens there.
Just express your intent. Mm-hmm. See what your opponent does with that.
Got more of this.
Listen, you got active trees to spare.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you got plenty.
You can afford to throw away one on a speculative path here, I think.
I got no argument here for you. I guess the thought process here is, well, hold on. We got to take. Well, what are we doing? We got to take something. There you go. Give me that.
Bang!
Give me that dog. Can I pet that dog?
Yeah.
Can I pet that dog? No.
Yeah, a couple of really good lines there available to Tristan, which was active treason or 2 active treasons or activate Castle Lockway.
Sure. All deadly.
All deadly moves.
I think I would have started with the cartouche. Alright, so if I draw like a 1-mana thing.
Yeah.
Ooh, rest in peace. Okay, so that's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright. Because if I just start with the cartouche and then cast Baffling In, the game's over. Now, not saying that Wenzel is going to have much difficulty winning this game, but it's going to have the opportunity to close it out. Could have played Baffling In or Rest in Peace to close it out. Either way, I like the positioning. Though, If the draw's Witch's Oven or some other sacrifice effect, are we in this one? Well, it's a mountain, so who cares what I have to say?
Yeah, Jagatha time.
Yeah, well, the big fella.
Yeah.
Yeah, good game indeed. Wenzel Krautmann gonna win this game and match over Tristan Wylde-LaRue. 2-1. Azorius Auras 7-0. Two different Azorius decks I'm into now. Azorius